Hello, 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 and welcome back. We've got another game coming for you in just a couple of minutes. Kyle, joined by Lizard, of course, at the GG.Bet Hamburg Invitational presented to you by Maincast, and we have got a barn burner upcoming.
Barn burner? That's a nice thing. I haven't heard that one
Never heard of a
before.
barn burner before? It's
I
an
have.
American thing. That's what I guess, anyway.
Yeah.
Are you breathing into the mic?
Хорошо. We're having some technical
It's the
difficulties.
first
Go ahead.
event, man. We've all everyone's been on a beach for like the last 2 weeks, or maybe not a beach necessarily, but a metaphysical one. You have a story from a beach that I need to
Can't
share.
expect it to be perfect. And you know what?
What happens when things aren't perfect, Lizard? What
Listen.
goes down?
Sometimes some people go and save some other people that are being taken away by a current, and they get their girlfriends really mad at the same time.
Go elaborate for us, please.
But because such girlfriends might be watching this stream later on, you know, let's not elaborate and go deeper into it.
Okay. Yeah, basically Lizard moonlights as a lifeguard, guys. That's where this all goes. But he'll give us that story later in life. For the time being, let's set up this next game. FlyToMoon versus Ad Finem.
Yeah.
FlyToMoon with a completely new lineup that of names full that people I don't recognize. Ad Finem, the old faces rejoined.
Yeah, Ad
once again.
Finem, once again, the Greeks are back, man. I'm excited to see if they can pull off the same stuff they did in, 2016?
16, 17,
ESL,
one or the
right?
other. Yeah, something like that.
That was a pretty good Ad Finem.
And nothing changed either. SSA Spartan still the captain, and what do you know? They bust out the Marana Sand King first two.
I'm just not surprised I don't see some Shadow Demon Invoker combination by them with this Mirana, because that's what they love so much. At the same time, FlyToMoon, man, like these aren't really guys that aren't seen in the CIS scene. Like we have Slayer, Sioma the Slayer, like he's been around forever. With him, we have Always Wanna Fly. They're going to be that two, well, let's say experienced supports, right? Always Wanna Fly sometimes likes to die a lot, but he still does bring a lot to his team. However, these bots are usually position 5. Actually, Slayer has played a little bit of 4 recently, but usually they play a lot of 5, and they have someone like, I don't know, more flashy on that position for like an immersion or someone like that. SH is Shisui, and I've called him out for being toxic in the pubs, you know, like many times, but he's actually really nice. Shisui, we're good, man. I love you. He's kind in pubs.
Why are you reading this off of a script?
At least from the day I called him to be toxic, he's been very nice to me. In my pubs, he's been really cool. Flo is the offlaner. He had some health issues, but he's back. He's playing for 2 years now, I believe. And Arc Dota is one of those guys that spams your meepos, brutes, Arc Wardens, you know. But he's very skilled individual. All of these players didn't really have a lot of luck in the TI qualifiers, but the CIS was so stacked, it was really difficult.
I like this Zeus pick. It's certainly a bit early, but I imagine it could be played as both a core and a 4 in this game. And it's so strong in this matchup because not only do you have that anti-invis that's so beneficial against Sand King Marana, but later in the game you can find this Oracle with your ultimate, and you have such high burst damage, everyone taking damage. It's difficult for Oracle to focus on saving just the one player. You W somebody, you get bolted yourself.
However, they need some catch for this Oracle. Not necessarily catch, some line cutting hero that can get behind, get on top of that Oracle after you ulti with Zeus, right? To get rid of him. By the way, what do you think about Abaddon core idea right now? He has been changed a little bit here and there. I've seen him in pubs, in Europe at least. He's played on position 3, and like Ogre plus Abaddon, with Ogre being, let's say, a position 4, or Zeus. Well, let's not say Ogre position 4, but Zeus. But Ogre just being on that offlane as position 5 support, right? And you just go and hit this Lifestealer with the passives, let's say Orb of Venom, Blight.
Yeah.
It can be quite difficult to deal with. However, this is probably some Abaddon that's just going to save Jarrow once he gets stunned into Arrow, something similar.
I will say, Lifestealer, it can be a bit rough against Abaddon because your open wounds is never actually going to stick. And I do favor the lineup in a sense, just because it seems a lot simpler for Ad Finem to play the game right now, and we got a lot of rust on these squads. I don't care if you didn't play a TI, you've been grinding pubs, like no one really knows what's good. It's been too long off without any pro Dota with which to follow. Cheers to you guys, by the way, at home watching. You know, I know you were thirsting for some relatively professional Dota 2. I'm glad you could be here with us on this fine Sunday.
Definitely the first. Is it the first tournament of the season? It is, right?
Yeah.
Like the first qualifier. I believe Midas mode is coming up shortly as well.
I'll be there. It is going to be a good time, I imagine. There is a group chat where people are brainstorming ideas. And let me tell you, some of these will not see the light of day, but it's like, hey, the last thing was like, hey, what if we arrived by helicopter? How much would that cost? I'm like, I don't know about that one.
I wanted to say that it's probably Slack's idea, but considering it's his tournament, arriving by helicopter probably isn't what he has in mind.
Somebody call Kobe Bryant. Can he lend us his? We'll get into it later. Another Lena pickup. Was defeated in the previous game, but we'll try it again here. Most likely going to be that one position. I do like it in this game. It's nice to have a Yule's hero against Nabadan. You have that burst potential for Gyro and Zeus.
You can put your own mid, definitely. I believe Ad Finem is playing with Tug on offlane, by the way, right now.
Yeah.
I'm not certain, but I believe I've seen Focus played mid and Tug move on to the offlane. So somewhat similar to what happened to Hippomaniacs. Once they changed their offlaner, they sent their carry to the offlane and they got another midder. So
is this a easy TA pick for FlyToMoon? Feels that way. Also, so much time to think about it. Still full reserve time. Ad Finem, of course, using almost all of their available thinking time.
You could go for the TA. Lena versus TA. I mean, on that mid lane, Lena can stand up against her, but later on in the game, you just burst her down with a blink, and they go with the Dragonite instead. Right?
I like this a lot more, actually, because you didn't really need a damage dealer. You needed something that could actually frontline reliably. It's also really nice synergy with the Abaddon and the Gyro, right? Because now you have these near indestructible cores. Ad Finem, their whole lineup's built around burst damage, but now you can't take them out. And keep in mind, you also have the Zeus, so you're going to have plenty of magic damage from that support position.
You're going to have a lot of damage from Slayer, possibly playing position 4 or 5.
It's going to be 4 for sure.
4, most likely. On that Zeus, we haven't really seen who picked Abaddon, who picked Ogre, so we don't know which one is going to be the core. But it's more about Ad Finem and that Sand King. I believe that guy, maybe next time, he's possibly going to be position 4, right? Most likely going to be position 4 on that Sand King, and he has to deliver. Before, when that stack was still alive, the first iteration of the stack, he did so much for his team. With those bounty hunters hitting couriers, with the Earth Shaker, he was just destroying team fights. He was really good. But in this game, they need so much damage, and that Sand King has to deliver. He has to get that early blink or veil at least, but how much is he going to be able to get, you know?
I hated the Veil Rush on Sand King at TI.
Why?
It's all right as an offlaner.
On an offlane, it's good. It gives you tankiness. It gives you extra damage.
I get it, but I just sometimes think I would have preferred seeing like maybe even upgraded boots. Like, give me a phase boots bottle,
you know
a couple bracers.
You know what the problem is? To get those phase boots, you need a courier. You need to send yourself the blades of attack. But when you're going for the veil, it's really easy to grab those crowns. You know? That's what makes it so good. You scale on the lane without leaving it.
I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just a huge bracer fan. I think that Sand King also, the thing I had about Veil is I feel like if you're going to play that build, you just play without the blink. Yeah. And I saw a lot of times you see no boots Veil, and then that hero continues to just farm, and then you get a blink, but by then it's too late. But I understand the concept. I just think that you got to play Sand King a bit differently. You can't be as aggressive.
Like you think you can go into travels, drums, something like that.
Sure, yeah. Like I'd rather see like a Veil travels than I would like no boots Veil into brown boot blink, which I saw a lot of. And that's great when you hit the timing, but teams are too savvy nowadays. You're not going to get that beautiful 3-man epi into stun lined up with the plus magic damage.
Perhaps this is the game for it, because he is playing versus the Dragonite and the Gyrocopter. Perhaps these guys will be looking to push very early on, right? They have this Abaddon as well to support them with the Aphotic Shield, and then with the Sand King, maybe you have a little bit more space to get that ulti. The problem is Slayer with his position 4, like you called it, Zeus. He's going to be able to spam those Thunderbolts and perhaps catch you off guard, cancel that blink if you even get it. It's going to be very difficult for him to hide in the storm as well, Sandstorm, because of the Zeus. So we'll see how it goes. Right now he's going to be fighting versus always Wanna Fly, who has a Stout Shield and the
as expected. And I like that too. It's a nice concept when you consider that Zeus doesn't really need to get any level 1 items. You just need some clarity. You just need to spam your spells. But later on, you're able to then accelerate and take the brunt of the farm as the Ogre starts to buy all the support items himself.
And we will see Flo playing that Abaddon, so it will be the position 3 Abaddon. And he has a really long stick, man. Like, look at that. His sword is...
It's a fencer's sword.
It's good. Yeah. Right, so...
2 for 2 runes.
One more to be picked, right, on top lane, but that should be picked up by Spartan, so 2 for 2. Maybe next time on that offlane Sand King, it seems, so I was wrong. Maybe next time is going to be the one playing offlane, and it looks like a position 4 Mirana.
Yeah, he just ran into the lane. He would have been able to kill the courier.
Yeah.
Instead just shows and moves back towards top.
Just messed up, I guess. That was just a small mistake, and that courier, you could see that it was running towards him, but then it went back.
And it's one of my favorite BO1 plays to make, is just try and get that courier kill. It's more valuable than a first blood, by far.
Yeah, it's so important for your midder, for you. Everyone gets gold. It's amazing to get some experience. I mean, overall, the courier kill is just amazing. And speaking of position 4 Mirana, it's something that I've been spamming in the past few weeks. This hero...
What is he doing? He just ran through the lane. They saw him.
I don't like what he's doing at all at the moment, considering, like, this Mirana is so strong early on the lane right now. If you go for a Basel, and these bets, they don't really reflect it too much. People still believe in Ad Finem a little bit at least.
I know, but based on what you're saying and what I'm watching in front of me, I got to favor FlyToMoon just a little bit.
I have to as well, because this Mirana is AFK. He's going to get an abandon if he doesn't move very soon.
I have no idea what he's doing.
He's waiting for the courier again or something. Like, what? Ah, he's creep skipping. That's what he's doing. He's going to take the creep wave away now to bring it to the Sand King. So that makes a little bit of sense, I guess, but... I guess they just decided that this lane is not good for them.
The problem is that he's taken a bit too long, I feel, because now you're in a situation where, sure, you'll be able to...
Oh my god. Oh,
Jesus,
Tug.
Oh, no.
What are you... Oh, man.
Yeah, but see, bottom lane, now the problem is that the gyro's level 2, right? And these bottom lane heroes on FlyToMoon are now strong enough to just deal with these creep waves. And Sand King still just level 1. He won't really be able to contest anything.
And the worst part is, you know what? Like, you don't even need to invest into sentries to unblock that hard camp. So the gyro will always be able to get the creeps, get them to the hard camp, farm even more, even if Tug is creep skipping. Even if he creates these 2 waves that he just did, gyro can do the same. And then Sand King really didn't benefit from this whole Mirana AFK in the woods thing. So I don't know. If you get the Basel, man, like, let's say if Slayer is able to do this, I believe there was a ward, so they did spot him out. But, and 20 more seconds, I believe they'll just wait with the courier, yeah. He should be.
Do you dive is the question.
You don't get it. You get 1 hit off of it, you don't get 2, I think. Let's see. Maybe if he rotates around. Huh? Oh, he's trying. He's doing it. What a maniac. That was a good play.
That was pretty low risk, to be fair. They give him the tip as well. FlyToMoon off to a commanding position. He's just going to sign on the tier 3 now. I like that maneuver. He'll buy boots, teleport out.
But Zeus is one of the rarest heroes that can't do it because of the Thunderbolt. He sees the courier and is able to hit it from behind the trees. Very well played.
Oh, Arc. Accidentally teleporting away.
Yeah,
and this is the danger, right? Still level 1 Sand King. Now you have a level 2 Ogre, level 4 Arc Dota on the gyro, and you just dive hard. They even have Glyph up for the creep wave if they want to use it.
I believe they will dive. They don't want to give, maybe next time, this experience here. Spartan has rotated around, but can they do anything with it?
They're so low level.
Yeah. Tug?
Doug?
He might... Is he solving up? He isn't. He might dive from the
Slayer's going to kill him.
Huh? There we go, Slayer. He's gone.
Yeah, and the concern is, like, of course, Lifesteal are hard free farming in the top lane, but this bottom lane is just a bit of a disaster this far for Ad Finem. Slayer now also will have Tranquils up in just a moment. Top rune is the one in question.
The thing is, I believe Abaddon is going to do more with less. You know, you don't need a lot on him to actually like just help his teammates out. Just, what do you have to do? You need a few levels in shield, run around heroes, shield them. You're still doing something. Sand King with no levels is completely garbage. He's useless. He won't be able to do shit.
And the other thing is that you have another scenario where the Ad Finem lineup, like, they need so many items. Like, the Lifestealer's going Midas. And if you look at the FlyToMoon draft, all three of these cores are going to be so tanky. How do you actually find kills? Like, what's your timing? Is it the Midas Radiance on the Lifestealer? That's still a ways away. At least 15.
I don't think that helps you even. I believe what their plan is to get Midas on Nyx, get some armor, Dazzle perhaps, and with maybe next time jump in with the Blink Dagger, get a fast pick off before that shield even comes up, and then play from there. But these lanes are doing really badly for them, and these national stacks in that first game, the Czech stack, now the Greek stack, they're doing pretty poorly. But it's still the laning stage, 5 minutes into the game. Maybe next time might fall again here.
It's just the Sandstorm's it's not very effective against that Zeus Thunderbolt. No. Just a hard counter to the MNT sinking. I'm surprised they're not being a little more creative about it. You know, pull creep waves, even just start roaming. Mid lane, don't tell me. Oh my goodness, DK almost finishing that kill. Now he's in no man's land as 4 heroes connect. If he catches this arrow, he should probably go down, and indeed he does. But very close to killing Focus.
Just baiting, man. Not even close. Focus knew what's up. Had the salve in a bottle. But yeah, very close, you were right. Now Slayer will get some levels here. Flow. Let's have that shield to work with, but...
He'll be able to deny, won't he? Unless Madara has... I was going to say.
Very well played by both of them. Madara waiting for the shield to use the open wounds, but at the same time, Abaddon waiting for him to use the open wounds to just deny himself in the end.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Right now, it looks really easy for FlyToMoon. And what I was saying about Mirana, I believe one of the strongest things about this hero right now is the laning potential in the first 2 minutes. She hits really hard, specifically because she only needs that Basilisk, and it's one of the best items early on right now to buy for damage. You get plus 8 damage and the mana regen and the armor for you and Sand King. But instead he decided to go AFK a little bit. And
there's 4 heroes mid now collapsing. They're going to immediately go for focus. The defensive glyph will be popped by Ad Finem, but I do believe this is going to be a dead Lina for certain, and indeed it is. Madara now teleporting in. He does not have much in the way of items, and this is a very tanky DK. 2 bracers, 2 points in E. No Abaddon nearby. Will he have shield? It's just spam heals. This is an Oracle and an Abaddon. We didn't even consider the amount of sustain, but of course the Oracle's on the other team, so I take that back. Flow now going to be retreating away, looking to try and get a deny off, and perhaps not even necessary as he shields himself, and now will go down thanks to the Infest bomb damage, plus the Edict from Spartan. AWF will continue to run away. Thank God I always want to fly short his name, because it was really tough to say always want to fly on the retreat over and over throughout the video game.
He will run away from Tug. They did have that ward, but perhaps not feeling too comfortable on using that arrow there, and yeah, always just retreats. Shisui, however, will be missed by that arrow and should be able to survive here. 2 bracers, all he needs, has so much regen. If you don't kill him, if you don't burst him down, he's just going to come back into the lane and continue farming, so it's a little bit problematic when you try and go for this move versus a DK and you don't kill him. Like what? What's the point? You just used your big spell and he's not going. He has those tangos. He won't even go back. That's the issue.
And what? I mean, he even has bottom shrine available if he really needs it. And Vizrune top lane. That is a huge pickup for focus on the Lina. That could be enough to potentially secure a kill on the DK.
Madara has to be careful here. He can be silenced by Flow. There we go. But I guess he's the only bright light on this side of Ad Finem right now. He's doing quite well. Yeah. When it comes to CS, he also did shut down that Abaddon really well, but he had a lot of help, and because of that, Sand King didn't.
Bottom lane, that Sand King is in some trouble. He'll catch both gyro cooldowns, and he will die. Flow now, easy denied, 3-man rotation. That was not the Invis rune used, but either way, it's still annoying to rotate that many heroes up top for nothing. Mid, Lina does have a slight edge on the DK, but we've discussed this in the past. The concern with these squishy int heroes middle is that even if you get ahead, you're just going to die in a stun.
Yeah, you're a glass cannon.
Exactly.
He does have that Oracle with him, but that won't stop him from dying if they position themselves well. If they get like a Midas into Blink, let's say, on Shisui, and he jumps on top of him.
And others are just going to continue to play around this mid tower. DK does put it into deny range, I do believe, so he's going to try and finish it off. 4 heroes from Ad Finem here to try and defend, and he'll actually get the tower kill. Nobody turned around to defend it, and he's going to catch the arrow now. Maybe next time going to look to pursue. Might be enough to finish this kill. They have so many stuns, and in fact, they will finish him off, but the treads were picked up before Shisui went down, along with the tower kill, and look, down bottom. Arc Dota already with that tier 1 whittled down to half HP as the lifestealer of Madara now teleports in, wants to ensure that they preserve these objectives for the Greek side.
So he decided not to go for that Midas after all on that DK, as he did realize that he's about to die, so he switches up fast, goes for the power threads, buys them, doesn't lose a lot of gold. Pretty well played by him, considering he also got the tower. Sadly, he does fall later onto that arrow, and constant stuns coming from the Sand King and the Lina afterwards.
But you got to feel like you're in a good position here if you're FlyToMoon. You've already got the mid tower down. You look at the wards just placed up by Always Want to Fly. And Gyro, you saw Madara TP bottom. You know there's no real way that Ad Finem can contest you in the safe lane now. So you move up as a unit there to try and take down that objective. Arc Dota already with that tower to half HP. The scan comes out from the Radiant. They're sniffing out a smoke just in case. But really, can you defend this if you're Ad Finem? I say no.
It's very difficult. This is one of those towers that if they really commit into taking it, they will take it. And if you try to defend it, if there's a board behind it, you're just going to feed. So it's good that they're not trying to do that. I have to say, I'm glad that he's going for Aghanim's on.
Again, there's so much magic damage here. He's in some trouble, but the 2 Brazers and the Treads, man, he is still half HP. They just tickled him. There was 4 heroes in the area.
Raindrops, 2 bracers, power threads, bracers. It's very difficult.
I just love the movement. Now you put Flo bottom. Madara's been here longer than Gyro, but he doesn't even get a tower pressure. Flo now, even 3 levels below, because he's in Abaddon, the way this matchup works, you can't threaten him if you're Madara. It's better off just farming creeps. You can't touch this guy. And he's going to be buying bracers as well, it looks like. I love this stat happy, you know, with the changes to how slots are allocated. You've got a backpack now, you've got TPs in their own slot. It's so much more effective now to get gold-efficient items. You don't have to be worried about running out of slots anymore until much later into the game, especially on a hero like Abaddon.
Especially
that just takes a bit of time to
like Abaddon, and especially because of the fact that he didn't really have the best laning stage, so going into the Midas right now would be really counterproductive, I believe, or anything similar. You go for these bracers, perhaps a Medallion Vlads later on, and look at the odds, man.
Yeah, for real. It doesn't feel like that sort of game, but it's such a dramatic change thus far. You've got to figure that a lot of that's based on community's perception of these lineups. And one big thing is, of course, you know, teams that took the 3 tier 1 towers first at TI won 80% of the matches.
Oh,
and
no.
Oh, boy.
That was the one hero that's supposed to survive through all of this and just carry Ad Finem somehow, but they just burst him down.
He's just too squishy. He's got, I mean, you're even going to see the DK still going for the Midas, but he's got those stat items, right? Madara, he's just rushing for his acceleration, sure, but it's not enough.
He's got the stat items and he has that Abaddon that was position 3, but is happy to play that casual position 5 Abaddon, just stands behind his core, shields him up, and that's it. And on the side of Ad Finem, you have to be, I don't know, you have to be a little bit more innovative. Like, use that...
Innovative?
Come on, man, it's my Slavic accent.
Innovative, my friend. I got your back, don't worry about it.
The thing is, like, the Bosnian word is the same like the English one, but has the different accent.
Oh.
You know, so
it
is a little bit of a mind.
As a single language speaking American, what would I be if I couldn't pompously correct you on your English? Because Lord knows that's all I have.
I'm happy to learn, you know, it's fine. Happy to learn, to improve. You know how difficult it is to speak to a girlfriend's father without knowing that language.
Always Want to Fly. A little bit of happy feet there. Does juke the arrow, but catches a stun. Nevertheless, it goes down. Flo, the next target. He's going to retreat back into the trees and teleport out immediately. A wise decision under the circumstances as Ad Finem were closing in like a pack of rabid hunting wolves.
They have
to the cornered elk.
Yeah, they have to do it, man. They have to step it up. They have to be making some plays across this map. Perhaps with the Mirana ulti plus smoke, something similar, to catch them off guard with the Sand King Gold, like, get behind them. Sand King Gold that hasn't been even leveled yet, you know, but it will be there eventually.
Yep.
So you have to do something like that. And I like the fact that he's not going for Radiance. He's
going
to Midas into right click because they will need this damage.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, though, versus Abaddon,
yep.
It will be difficult.
You also don't farm as fast, of course, and it just doesn't feel like that kind of game where Lifestealer can take over single-handedly. The cores on the side of Ad Finem FlyToMoon are just so strong. And again, the Abaddon, man, it just ruins everything Lifestealer wants to do in a game. You can't target him. You can't target anyone with an open wounds with shield active, or off cooldown rather.
What's he going? Soul Ring into Blink makes sense. They need that vessel for for the lifestealer. They need the Uber driver. They need that blink to get on top of the, well, Zeus, I guess. Who else can you get on top of? Yeah, anyone else, Abaddon is going to save them by the time you get them low. It is a very difficult situation for Ad Finem right now, and as I said before, they need those moments of brilliance, you know.
He has an Ags on Gyro, man. This item is just so insane, even after the nerf.
Shisui.
If they can even get the bolt off, they're going to out-click down bottom. And whoa, Gyrocopter just killed the Sand King, is now Fear.
That's 4 bounties for them as well. All 4 bounties taken, even though Mirana used the ulti and they tried to make a play there. So it was them trying to make a play, they still lose all 4 bounties and they don't really get anything for it. And the Sand King falls to a solo Gyro. This is a very difficult situation for Ad Finem. I don't know, they need to outplay them at this point. Like, usually you say game is over, it's difficult for them to come back, Abaddon is just gonna save them and that's it. It doesn't have to necessarily be that way. You just have to, like, if you are much better than your opponents, you can always find a way. The problem is, they're not much better than this team. And they also recently started playing together again.
Oh no, look at this. Ad Finem just walking up the high ground. Oracle immediately getting smacked down. Spartan hits the deck and the down
hero.
The tier 1s, man, when all these towers die so early, look how easy it's been for the Gyrocopter to accelerate. He's already 2k gold ahead of the Lifestealer, and he's got a free game. He's just playing this top side of the map, and there's no way for anyone on Ad Finem to get behind him because the rest of his team is playing so offensively.
He's a little goblin in his helicopter, just moving around the map, farming, and he can do that because he has this big-ass ogre and the Dragonite standing in front and just scouting, you know. They don't even have to get kills. As long as they're in between the Gyro and the enemy team, they can't get close to him. Right now, for Ad Finem, maybe that's the plan. Use Mirana ulti, smoke up, go all the way around somehow, find a way to get on top of that Gyro, kill him a few times.
And I love, then FlyToMoon, comparatively, like, they just got to keep sweeping. Much like you'd sweep a kitchen floor, you do the same to the map. You take care of one side and immediately you cut across to the next. They take top tier 2 and then here they are, mid tier 2. Don't even need the dragon form. He's just going to stand still, tank some damage. He's got 21 armor.
All the auras are here. You have the Abaddon with the heal. You have the Bloodlust as well.
Madara? Madara?
Manages to pop that rage just before the DK stun. And because of that, Always Wanna Fly is going to die.
That was dangerous, though. And now, Arc Dota, he's going to be able to find the Sand King. No rage on the Lifestealer. You got to be careful here. A lot of damage coming out. Do not get the heal off in time. That's going to be a dead Gyro. However, you've got DK now landing the stun onto the Lifestealer. He will be ulted away from Oracle. This is that mistake, perhaps, that Ad Finem were waiting for, is Madara moving forwards with that armlet in synergy with the Oracle. He can play so offensive. Now, still back to full HP. Flow in some trouble. Does go down. Had 20 stick, but does not matter. And a little bit of a miscue there from FlyToMoon. They're super strong as 5, but when you get picked off individually, the draft does start to crumble.
It was a perfect positioning for Ad Finem. I'm not going to say that they did that on purpose. They were pretty much just pursuing the Ogre, and Gyro at the same time just decided to go for that solo Sand King pickoff. It did work. He does get the Sand King, but he finds himself in between Ad Finem and their base as they were retreating towards the shrine, and then they instantly pick him off and he dies. But that's because he was too far away from the Abaddon, which wasn't able to save him. And a mistake happens. Sometimes you don't really have to be super good or better than your teammates. You just have to wait for their mistakes. That happened in that situation. They picked that Gyrocopter off. Then they get 2 more kills. That's pretty good.
Take it.
Has been used.
They don't have a blink yet on this DK. I'd expect to see him grab it before the BKB, just because then all of a sudden, you don't need BKB. You've got an Abaddon behind you. It'll put them in a position where they can actually make plays. You can protect this Gyrocopter, let him go for the BKB, and then play aggressive in tandem, because you are so strong now as 5, still on the side of FlyToMoon. You've just got to find that initiation. That is the key.
Yeah, blink on DK. I definitely agree with you, and he picks it up instantly. I was waiting for this because they needed one hero to get it, right? Like, they don't have any initiation. At the same time, for Ad Finem, they're in a similar situation, but they can use, let's say, Mirana ulti to do something with it. But they do need a Sand King blink.
The way you see it is, whenever you have a huge team fight advantage, you just need initiation, because then you find those team fights. And in addition, a hero like DK with no Dragon Form up, very weak. But here, as you can see, immediately, that's a free kill on Lina. It pays for itself already. And it makes you relevant even outside of DK form. That's the key. A non-blink, non-DK formed DK is just useless. He's
Yeah,
just
pretty
walking
much.
around, a guy with the sword, trying to fight a dragon. I don't care what you said, you saw in Fairy Tales. Like, that's just not an effective way of committing to combat. And look at this, just immediate initiation. Once again, he'll tank the arrow. Madara in a ton of trouble, will get ulted off, pops the open wounds on the Abaddon, gets ulted, now will ult out, and I believe they're just going to continue to pursue here.
Yeah,
They
Thug just
finish
dies.
off Thug to just, what?
That was just AoE damage, collateral damage on Mirana that killed him.
Yep.
Gyrocopter with that flat cannon.
And it's a
Rocket
big
barrage.
win. You don't get the tower, but they're going to pop Zeus ult. This is all map control. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 4 bounty runes are going to go to the way of FlyToMoon.
That Zeus ulti is so good in this situation. Like, sometimes I'm playing pubs and I have to beg my teammates that are playing Zeus to pop that ulti just for vision, you know? Like, pop that ulti, see where they all are. You're going to know where they can be in 2 minutes from now. And always want to fly? Well, he didn't guess right. Or maybe he did.
We'll see. Focus now on the side. Trying to go for Shishui. He's in a little bit of trouble here. Lots of stunts coming out, but now Arc Dota moves forward. He's got a ton of damage output coming, but DK does go down once again. Flow just too little, too late. Not there in time to support his teammates. Madara just continuing to pursue. He's got so much damage, no shield to purge his open wounds as the rest of Ad Finem look to pursue. Low on mana and HP, however, the active shrine should dissuade them from continuing to pursue, but under the cover of the Mirana Invis, they should be able to escape unscathed.
Yeah, focus goes back as well. I'm wondering maybe a better idea for them there was to go into the pit. They had 40, 50 seconds without DK. Perhaps they could have threatened that Roshan, but yeah, it is a difficult one. Abaddon could run in, Gyro with the ulti perhaps.
The Zeus spamming from afar.
Yeah, it is difficult. They just wanted to get the most out of that situation, which was a pretty good situation for them overall. All things considered, they take down the DK, they take down the Ogre. Abaddon, once again, wasn't really in the perfect position. Ogre just dies super far out without buyback, as he did buyback earlier. But it's an Ogre. Sometimes when you're playing that position 5 bulky hero like an Ogre, you want to be breaking those smokes. You want to be sacrificing yourself. But, oh, here we go.
Thug once again going to find himself in no man's land, and this is the invitation to Roshan that they've been waiting for. Yeah.
Mirana does have buyback, but the question is, do they really want to fight this? The DK form has been popped, and now if Mirana doesn't buy back, it's that giveaway that this is going to be a free rush.
Oh, another initiation. Spartan, is that enough? One more attack? Indeed, that'll be it. Zeus ulti just in case. And it's been a common concern for Ad Finem thus far in this game. They're just walking into death
Spartan
many times.
in particularly has walked uphill or into them quite a few times in this game. And when you're playing such a hero such as an Oracle, like you have to be a little bit more careful when it comes to your positioning. And yeah, I mean these odds with ages taken, 4 for Ad Finem, 1 for FlyToMoon, it's pretty much obvious why people are betting for FlyToMoon.
And I love the way that they've itemized, you know, even the little things like the medallion up on the Abaddon on the top of the Vlads. They're just doing as much as they can to increase their effective net worth as a unit. The BKB early on the Gyro, every player understanding their role, and of course, Max Bloodlust as well.
I mean, I'm just
focus. He needs to kill. What? You needed to use yourself there, did you not? He's going to get pursued. Gyro's going to pop the ultimate. Will it hit? Yes, it does. Just a little bit of a move speed slow. The rocket lands as well. Arc Dota going to continue to pursue.
Another rocket. There is DK blinking in. Oracle.
Like he's zoning the Oracle now, and it's not going to be enough. Lina will go down. Really well done there, as you said. And this is the benefit of the map control, right? When you position aggressively, all of a sudden it's so easy to cut off the enemy retreat. And now a teleport from Flow to the top lane, ensure that tower pressure is alleviated. Madara will be able to finish off his Deso, but it's a single target DPS, and oh wow, the Zeus ult now active. This is a dead Sankey for sure. My god, the damage.
He just finished that Aghanim moments ago, and he's wicked sick on this Zeus, so he's having a blast on this position 4. Well, I talked earlier how both of these players usually played position 5, but yes, Sima the Slayer, he has played 4 a lot as well, and he's proving to be quite a strong one as well in this game. I don't know, I still feel like Ad Finem can come back if they wait the Sages out. It is possible. It's not like that first game in which in 22 minutes of the game was already over. We knew that Hippomaniacs had no chances. I believe Ad Finem, with some moments of inspiration, let's call it that way, they could turn it around, but it's very difficult.
And look, with the Aegis, with the BKB, like, how do you threaten the Gyrocopter? That's the concern. Same, is he going to kill this Oracle?
Yes.
He's thinking about it. They're killing this. Lina goes down to the base. Oracle goes down. Zeus now TPing back to base. Sure, he won't be here for this engagement, but he'll have ult ready and his Ags. Madara with the double damage. This could be enough to potentially scare FlyToMoon away, but look at that. That BKB gyrocopter just moving forward, beating
Madara.
into the... whoa, what? Lifestealer's already dead.
And at the same time, while his Nyx was dying, they used the Oracle ulti on the Sand King. Because they can't come closer. These heroes of FlyToMoon are way too tanky. They're standing
so much
in
damage.
between.
They're just going to continue
Look
as well.
at
Double stun. This should be enough to save Spartan. I take that back. Shoot Sway now on the retreat. Madara will be able to finish him off. Flow popping ultimate moving forwards. Gyro Aegis is going to be popped. This is 4 heroes alive for Ad Finem inside the base. You got to be very cautious here. If you're FlyToMoon, they're getting punished hard. Arc Dota, he's going to get used up in the air and will certainly fall afterwards. A bit too ambitious. They do get wiped inside of the base with only Sam of the Slayer, the lone survivor. However, they did force many buybacks and, of course, claim the tier 3.
Yeah. I believe that we have seen 4 buybacks by Ad Finem, and they lose the tier 3, but you know what? That's probably the best they could have gotten out of that.
Yeah.
Like, they get 4 kills there. They take down the Gyro twice with that Aegis. I believe that fight was all right for them, but not having like anyone with the buyback is a really, really bad situation to be in. And it's so difficult. I mean, I know I'm being rough on this Oracle, like saying that he's just dying way too much. Spartan is definitely an experienced captain and a position 5, but it's such a difficult game for him, man. Like, you have these tanky heroes that are standing in between you and the core that you want to save, and you don't have Aether Lance, you don't have Glimmer Cape, you can't get close to him. And so many times Madara is probably screaming, ulti me, save me, but the Oracle isn't able to get close enough.
Yep. He will have an AC up on Madara eventually, and that will help to further increase his physical damage reduction or output.
I'm actually surprised that this Solar Crest wasn't hit a little bit harder in the last patch. That item is just ridiculously strong.
Yeah, attack speed, armor, like it's way too good to just put on one of your cores and have him go in. It's just so much EHP in addition to the bonus DPS.
Dragonite is usually considered to be one of these heroes that, right, like he's very tanky early on, he pushes, but if he doesn't go for a Midas or a Maelstrom, he kind of falls off and doesn't really threaten you that hard later on. He's just like someone that is a nuisance, right? He's there, he annoys you, but you don't really have to deal with him. However, in this game, you have to. There's going to be a Solar Crest on him, there's going to be a Bloodlust, and he's a hyper carry that's dishing out just as much damage as Arc Dota's Gyro.
And he's got a Midas.
And he has a Midas.
Like, everything you could possibly want. And this I love this concept. It's something OG, again, utilize. These cores, like Gyro, like Bristleback, that perhaps, you know, there's tier 2, tier 3 carries, but you give them a couple steroids, you juice them up a little bit, put a little needle in their butt, all of a sudden, they're on fire. And as you can see, they're going to just hard commit, always want to fly, might be in trouble. Arrow will land on the gyrocopter, but they've already been able to take out Spartan, and this DK, level 18, will have that slow effect now on those auto attacks. Yeah, and they're going to find a kill no problem and look to pursue for another tower opportunity. They'll claim a tier 2.
High ground push, definitely. Yep. Why not? Oracle is that, doesn't have buyback.
Double BKBs.
BKBs are up. You just use Dragon Knight's form, and it's 50%, so you can continue pushing.
You gotta be careful if you're Madara here.
Arrow is good, but there is Abaddon.
No damage either.
So, yeah, you're not gonna kill him.
They're gonna shield it off. They're gonna initiate immediately, but this is a BKB DK. Keep in mind, and so far you can see Ad Finem just trying to posh. They want to force that ability out. Now, Lifestealer catches a stun. So much damage coming out. Zeus pops the ultimate, and there's no buyback on Madara. He's dead for 100 seconds. 100 seconds on the deck. There is no damage output now for this entire team of Ad Finem, but they're going to just dive tier 3s. BKB active, but as you can see, it just doesn't matter. He's going to get chased down by Arc Dota.
They have no damage. There's the Sand King with the ultimate. We talked about this during the drafting stage, but this is the first ultimate that I have seen in this game.
Yes.
It's a little bit too late, buddy.
Way too late, as FlyToMoon, they just continue to push this 5. No troubles. Not a care in the world. Every hero dead has no buyback, and they should know this for certain, as it was that last engagement around the mid-tier 3 that they forced those buybacks initially.
That tier 3 on the mid lane is also that, so just an easy rotation towards mid, and I believe maybe even top. Why not? Nyx is still that for 50 seconds. They should be able to take down mid lane and then go top for sure.
And they'll get at least the tower. Sam is going to TP back to base. Might even be able to finish off bots. You're going to have Satanic up soon as well on the gyrocopter, and they're just going to keep pushing. So much plus damage.
Even if he doesn't have travels to come back to the top lane, he has his ulti to use. I mean, the Aghanim is one, Nimbus. There are no creeps, however.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's going to save the base. is the fact that there is no way for FlyToMoon to kill that Rax through backdoor protection.
Yeah, maybe next time was pushing out bottom, mid lane was already pushed out, top lane as well, and because of that, FlyToMoon, they have to go back and play it a little bit safer, but let's be honest, this game is
it's just so difficult for Ad Finem to win a fight because you're playing against, it's again, whenever you have these tanky cores, it makes the game so much easier to play. Because to lose, you need somebody to get 100 to 0. But that would mean the Abaddon not only has to be out of position and or CC'd, but they need so much time. How do you kill a DK with like 3,000 HP, a gyrocopter that's going to have a satanic soon?
A few times in this game it has happened that Abaddon is out of position and they manage to take down, let's say, Gyro or DK, but the problem is usually that's outside of their base, somewhere near the river, somewhere where they don't expect that. When they're pushing S5, that Abaddon is the easiest job of his life.
They're in formation. Yeah, they're ready for this.
Exactly. They know these guys are going to jump on their cores, and because of that, all right, that arrow.
Oh, but hang on. We got always want to fly. He is trying to die. He'll tank that smoke, force forwards. Will not be able to land the stun onto Spartan, but it's not a big deal. They did break the smoke, and now they get away safely. Zeus ulti pops, Sama now in some trouble. He could be the kill here, but look at the rest of his team. He's just kiting away. Slayer is just buying time. Is he? Okay, I was going to say, is Madara just dead? He's going to try and TP out. Will he be able to is the question. In fact, he will.
Yeah.
But this leaves the top racks exposed. There's no glyph active. You've killed the Zeus. Godlike kill streak actually disappearing as now Thug, he just dies immediately. You still have BKBs on both these cores. They can just pop them and kill this Rax. This ends the game. They get megas off this.
Yeah, most certainly. The BKB has been used. Completely negates the ultimate off. Maybe next time. Flow just stands as a meat shield between Focus, Mother, and the rest of the team, and GG has been called.
It's a clinic so far. 2 games, 2 stomps this season.
Yeah, 30 minutes and 20 minutes. 2 games under 1 hour.
Hey, but we do get to see the winners upcoming. We're going to have a bit of a break, of course, but FlyToMoon victorious. They'll move on to play Gambit in the winner bracket final of this Group A. The winner does qualify to go into the playoff stage. Of course, you're going to now have Ad Finem playing up against who did Gambit beat?
Ad Finem
this is a
against
test.
FlyToMoon. What?
Gambit played.
Gambit played Hippomaniacs.
It took you a long time to figure that one out, Lizard.
I was a little bit thinking about something else.
Oh,
this game,
I don't want to know what you're thinking about. Just keep in mind as you watch the Invitational to protect your bet fast and easy. No queues, no business hours, no rejections. Just make your bet on GG.Bet using the code SAVE to ensure it. What would you like to save from our 2 opening zeros, Lizard? I used the same transition last time, actually.
Well,
Lizard, when you're not saving people at the beach, what do you like to save?
I would like to save. Okay, I won't go the bad way. I just save this Abaddon, I think, in the second game. And if Ad Finem was playing in this next game, I'd save them from Mirana. I'd save them and tell them just pick something else. I believe that hero really backfired for them. They needed that Sand King to be able to do something in the mid game, but when you don't have a laning partner and you're completely shut down the way he was, like you aren't able. And Abaddon at the same time, why I'm saying that he should be the one picked up again by FlyToMoon is because he didn't get anything on that lane. He was in a similar situation such as Sand King, but he provided his team with so much utility and like that lad's medallion, the shield all the time, which made DK able to buy the blink instead of the BKB. I believe Abaddon was the star of that.
And you actually had the ability to buy teamfight items, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, you see the Ad Finem cores, they all have to build selfishly. Yeah. You need the Yules on the Lina.
You need the blink on Sand King.
You can't afford to get these teamfight items, and it just compounds the advantage that FlyToMoon have when they go up at your base with like these 2 to 3 core items, these very tanky 1 and 2 positions. It just makes the game easy to play.
And perhaps you have to think about your position 4 and 5s and how they match together. Like on one side you had this Ogre, right? On the other side you had Oracle and Mirana. Oracle and Mirana, they're 2 good supports on position 4 and position 5 respectively, but together something's missing there. You know, like they're missing. They miss some meat. You need some.
you can't just throw salt at it.
Yeah, you need someone tanky in front.
Yeah, and if Lizard knows anything, it's meat. He certainly knows his way around that by now. Do stay with us. We're gonna have the winners bracket match of Group A in our GG.Bet Hamburg Invitational presented to you by Maincast. I'm Kyle. That's Lizard. And in just a few moments, you're going to see FlyToMoon go up against Gambit. So don't go anywhere. And we'll be back soon.